Welcome, everyone. It is Tuesday night, Just a Bit Outside radio show, live on Facebook, live on YouTube. Thank you for joining us. As we love for you to do, share the link, share the love. You got Keisha, you got Mark. Keisha, how is it going?
Hey, what's going on, outsiders? What's going on, Mark? Happy Tuesday. Coming through on International Women's Day. So, for all of our women listeners and fans out there, El Boogie's over here making some grand gesture, a pirouette, if you will. Happy to all, here as well as abroad, because we're still big in the Philippines.
If there's one thing I love, it's an international woman.
Yeah, man. Hey, let's talk about it. Happy Internationals Day, Women's Day. So, I kind of want to spend a few minutes on that because this is kind of like a big deal. And for real, like, women have been crushing it in sports lately. I mean, we just talked about it with the Winter Olympics. I mean, if it wasn't for the women, we definitely wouldn't have had as many medals as we had. And there's just been all types of things going on. So I just kind of wanted to give like a little brief overview of today and what it means. And basically, on March 8th, yearly celebrated worldwide, honoring women's rights and calling for an end to gender discriminations. And this is a big deal, especially here in the United States. Mark and I have talked extensively, in particular with women's tennis, because there are a few figures there who kind of, I would say, would be like that spearhead gender equality as far as pay in women's sports. And Mark, when I say spearhead, the two spearheads, I'm speaking about Billie Jean King and Venus Williams. We have talked several times about their impact on women's sports and equal pay, and in particular with women's tennis. But I mean, this was like the beginning of a movement. I mean, and because of the efforts of these women, it kind of became contagious. And in 2020, in this day and age, we're starting to see those effects in other sports as well.
Oh yeah, and I find it interesting, those names that you mentioned, both Venus and Billie Jean in the world of tennis. But I mean, their contributions, not only to women's tennis, but tennis as a whole, was amazing.
Yes, absolutely. And just to kind of go along with International's Women's Day and talking about tennis, I just wanted to give a quick fun fact out there. Mark, we follow tennis on especially the WTA, because it's just been so exciting and unpredictable over the past couple of years. I kind of wanted to throw out a fun fact for you, Mark, as well as our outsiders listening this evening.
Okay.
So, in this year, 2022, we are actually marking the 100-year anniversary of women playing in the Australian Open. Did you know that? I didn't even know that.
I did not know
I wish
that.
I would have. Yeah. I wish I would have known that when, because if you follow tennis or if you follow the show, the Australian Open is kind of the first of the big, Grand Slams in tennis, and it kicks off at the beginning of the year. So unfortunately, the Australian Open has come and gone, but this would have been a great fact. And I'm kind of surprised that they didn't kind of push that more. I feel like I didn't even hear that when the tournament came around,
The Australian Open this year was kind of a hot button issue for other reasons.
Yeah, it was more about bullshit. You're absolutely right, Mark.
But
you're absolutely right.
It's interesting you say it's the longest tournament to allow women, 100 years, but apparently they don't allow bitches.
How about that? How about it? So this year marks the 100-year anniversary. The tournament actually started in 1905, and this just lets you know how women have been getting the short end of the stick for quite some time now. Tournament started in 1905, but they did not allow women to play until 1922.
Wow.
Crazy, right? When you think about the grand scheme of things. So yeah, I mean, congratulations, to those groundbreaking women that blazed the trail for women's tennis in the Australian Open, and happy anniversary, and happy you know International Women's Day. I also just want to make one other quick fun fact for you guys. And Mark, I said that this is a hot topic and it hits kind of close to home, especially with recent events in women's sports. I'm talking about the U.S. women's nationals team. We've been following that, battle with the women's team and equal pay. I'm on the show, Mark. We've been following that a little bit here and there, and a huge win for women's soccer recently with their settlement with the U.S. Soccer Federation. They recently settled over their equal pay disputes and gripes, and those voices were heard, Mark, and they were heard to the tune of 24 million.
Good Lord.
Yes. I mean, and this is going down in history as one of like the biggest triumphs in the whole movement of equal pay and gender equality. Of the 24 million, just really quickly, Mark, the 22 million lump sum went to the players, and this part I thought was especially cool because not only were they thinking about the current players, but they're thinking about players of the future. And they're very forward thinking in the aspect that 2 million of the 24 million went towards the players' post-career goals for charity in women's and girls soccer. Big freaking deal, and congratulations to the U.S. women's team. I know Megan Rapinoe and Ali Wambach. There was a lot of people who have been advocating for that for some time now, and to finally come to grips with that victory in such a big number as 24 million, man. I mean, it's just a really big deal.
That's awesome for them. That's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, what I am hoping personally is that this kind of movement and this fever, if you will creep into women's basketball.
Yes.
Professional women's basketball, which is kind of, I mean, it's indirectly a big ticket item right now. I want to save the whole Brittany Griner discussion for a little bit later on in the show, Mark, if we can. Yeah. But I did, when we're talking about these huge victories and equality and whatnot, because this will be an issue when we talk about, what is kind of turned into a political issue and a current event, the detainment of Brittany Griner over there in Russia. This will definitely be an issue. It was recently reported. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure it was the commissioner or maybe president of basketball operations for the WNBA. They've been trying to figure out ways to generate more money, to allocate more resources to a league that, you guys, honestly is doing extremely well. Mark and I've talked in the past about how they've been growing and expanding, and that it should be recognized. But it was reported that they had been trying to get the league to finance charter flights for the women players when they travel, as opposed to I guess ground transportation, which is currently in place right now. And in order, and they were saying that something as simple as getting these ladies a charter flight would be completely detrimental to the league. It would put the league under.
That's insane.
Yeah. It really makes you look, Mark, at kind of like the grand scheme of things. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I just really outside of advocating and getting funding, I'm not really sure what else can be done. But I hope that these talks continue to be had, and that they continue to have headway, and making women's sports a better place for its athletes, as a whole, man. Because once it's like once somebody steps up, it's like everybody else follows suit, right? I mean, we just talked about what was it last year this time with the bubble with the college the women's tournament.
Oh yeah.
The difference in resources that were available to the women's athletes in relation to the men's athletes, I mean, it's absolutely horrendous.
Yeah.
You guys, and I seriously hope, and I'm almost guaranteed that this whole entire thing will be on a microscope this year's tournament, because I mean they really messed up. They fouled up that whole situation last year.
Holy jeez. I don't know if you see the comments, but the professor is weighing in. And I did not hear about this. Maybe you did because you were just speaking on it, on the whole charter flight thing. But did you all hear about the WNBA trying to suspend the New York Liberty for giving chartered flights and fine them $500,000?
Are you serious?
500,000.
I did not. And the professor, thank you for always coming through, man, with the relevant material. See, man, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about, man. We got to make some more headway with this. And like I said, I really hope all of the efforts, especially recently with the women's U.S. national soccer team, I hope that'll leak into some of the other leagues, man. Especially, like we're talking about right now, the WNBA. Man, that's just crazy, insane. All right, let's keep it moving. Kind of what's going on around town. We're gonna go just a bit outside. Mark is very excited to talk about this. You got your chance, homie. Last week, what was it? Last Wednesday, Keisha and Mark went to the movies. Let's go to the movies. Keisha and Mark at the movies. And it's just, you guys don't know, but I mean, every once in a while we talk stocks on here, and we do our little thing. But we went to an investor screening for AMC last week to see The Batman, which is out in theaters now, and it's been getting some pretty good reviews. And before Mark goes on his rave, I gotta say, man, that joint was well deserved. Mark, I gotta put you out there, man. Outside before we went to see this film, Mark and I, we kind of talked about it a little bit. And Mark was not excited to see this film.
Yep.
Mark was not excited to see this film, but we went out there, we got into our nice reclining seats, we got our snacks, the joint started rolling, and man, let me just tell you guys, The Batman does not disappoint. We're just going to say, our little piece about this without spoiling it, because we know it's still fairly new and there's some people out there that have not seen it. But man, Mark, I mean, 1 to 10, 1 the lowest, 10 the highest. Please give me your rating and let me know what you kind of liked the most, or what you didn't like about the movie.
Rating, I think I would probably take a little recency bias out of it and try to calm myself down a little bit. I think I'd give it like a solid 8.5. There's nothing that's perfect. There's nothing that is a 10. But like you said, the movie was just so lit. It was so well done, so well put together. Even though it's 3 hours, the pace, and it's paced really, really slow, but it's not a bad pacing at all. Like, you don't realize it's the 3 hours.
Right. Hell yeah. I definitely have to agree with you on that. Oh, Mark. I just want to kind of speak to like the grittiness of the movie, because don't get me wrong. I mean, you can kind of tell they was going for the funk with the trailer. But man, I myself, I thought it was going to be good, but I was skeptical about my boy Twilight. I call him Twilight because I just can't get past that. But let me just give him the respect, because he's a Batman now, dog. But what's the kid's name? Robert Pattinson.
Robert Pattinson, yeah.
Oh my gosh! Don't get me wrong. because true to form in this day and age, Batman had his emo moments. You know, he had his emo Twilight moments where he was doing that little look where he's like in pain and shit. Nothing's really bad is happening. But, man, I enjoyed him as Bruce Wayne.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I really did. And then I got to give another shout out. Huge shout out. One of the first things that really jumped out at me, dog, the new Batman costume.
Yeah.
That shit was dope. Like, move over, Ben Affleck, with your old ass. We're coming with it now, man. And you know, when we left out, you know, me and Mark and I, we had to discuss the Zoe Kravitz, because I mean, Catwoman was a badass in there as well. Man, you know, no disrespect to Michelle Pfeiffer, but you know, Zoe Kravitz put her little bit of funk on there as well, man. I was just so pleased with everybody's performance. And Colin Farrell, holy crap, like, I didn't even recognize him for real. Like, we're walking out, I'm like, man, I gotta find out who played that, what was his character's name? Gosh.
The Penguin?
Yeah, the Penguin. I gotta find out who played the Penguin. Mark's like, man, it's Colin Farrell. I was literally like, get the F out of here, dude. Like, I mean, it was just so good. I, for one, I might have to give that joint like an 8 for real, bro. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I think what I've been telling people and how I feel about the movie overall, like you said, Robert Pattinson, he did an amazing job. A lot of people were down on him because of Twilight, but he did really good.
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest fan of the Nolan films.
Yeah.
But I really, really, really enjoyed Batman Begins, and looking at the structure of both movies and the thematics, I guess.
Yeah, sure.
This movie would have been a really, really excellent follow-up to Batman Begins.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, just I've been reading the Batman comics for like 30 years, and to me, this was like the most comic book accurate version. Yeah,
it was like that joint just jumped out on the screen, right?
Yeah, it was amazing. And another thing is the way he played Batman, like, he doesn't care about Bruce Wayne. At this point, 2 years in, like, that's who he is. And a long-standing thing about Batman versus other superheroes is Batman is the man, Bruce Wayne is the mask. And he played this so well.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It was amazing.
Yeah. Hell yeah. And of course, I mean, you know, they give you a little taste of what's to come. What'd you think about that?
Taste of what's to come? What am I missing here?
At the end.
Oh, yeah. It was okay. Like, honestly, that scene wasn't my favorite. I thought it was a little bit overplayed, but, you know, that guy's always got to be lurking around.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've heard, but there's a couple of HBO Max series based around this universe that are being looked at being made.
Okay.
One is the Penguin, following up what his character does after the movie and building up his empire.
Yeah.
And then the other one is based around Arkham Asylum. So we could be seeing those guys a whole lot sooner than the sequel.
Absolutely.
And the way the movie left off, there's a really huge storyline in the comics called No Man's Land, and that's where I want them to follow this movie up with. It's an amazing thing, and like they teased it for me, and I'm like, okay, that's where I need it to go.
Awesome. Yeah. So you know, 2 thumbs up for my. You know, I can say that, right? 2 thumbs up for me and you. Hell yeah! Definitely go check that. Definitely go check out the Batman, man. This ain't your average Twilight. Oh man! All right. Let's keep it moving. Let's jump back into the realm of sports. Let me see. How are we doing on time right now? Okay, we can go ahead and take care of this really quickly. What's going on around town? We like I said, we're jumping back into the realm of sports. For all of our baseball fans out there that's been keeping track of the freaking drama between the MLB and the Players Association, we all know that, spring training, the start of it, or the supposed start, has come and gone, and lo and behold, there's nothing going on. We are still in a lockout. I believe we're in day 9 of the freaking lockout now.
90?
Oh, no, yeah, 90, excuse me. I'm sorry, 90. Yeah, that's right, not 90. I'm thinking about the first week of the games.
Okay.
But so let's just talk about everything that's been kind of going on. One good thing, one come through, I'm gonna have to give to minor league teams, and also since we're fully 4-1-0 here, big nod to the Baltimore Orioles. In lieu of all of the crazy that is going on right now with Major League Baseball, they have offered up an alternative for those who are looking to get their baseball fix. And the best thing about this alternative is that it is free, folks. Yes, here at JABO, we love words that start with F and end in E. Free. That's what I'm talking about, baby. So the Orioles, are offering minor league spring training for free. For those in the 410, it's split 410. Or Baltimore fans outside of the area, you guys know the Orioles set up down there in Sarasota, Florida, Ed Smith Stadium and Buck O'Neill Complex. So what they're actually doing is they're letting the minor league teams go down there and play, man. The minor leagues is set to get started on March 10th. So that's Thursday. That's this Thursday. And, if you just so happen to be in Sarasota or down in the Florida area, or if, hell, you want to make a trip down there, you still got plenty of time to organize. From the 10th and the 15th, you can see the workouts down at Ed Smith Stadium for free. So you can check out some of the Orioles minor league team, get to know some of these up-and-coming rising stars. And in addition to the games, minor league games, I believe, are still to start on the 16th. All right, so you got workouts from the 10th to the 15th. Games start to be played at the 16th for the Orioles minor league. They're going to be at Buck O'Neill's complex, the Buck O'Neill complex, which is also in Sarasota. Games are starting on the 16th, so you're going to have to jump on the internet and get more information about that. But yeah, man, I mean, it just seems like baseball is trying to do something because, and to me, this is not a good sign.
No.
Because to me, it's okay. Let's try to put some type of product out there, because we're nowhere in hell near coming to some type of agreement with these two sides, right?
Yeah, it's ridiculous, man.
Yeah. So I guess, Mark, I think we should take a few minutes to talk about what the hell's been going on lately between the Players Association and the league, man. I want to give a little information about what has been happening over the past week or so. Like I said, we're in 90 day of the lockout. They have already said, no freaking opening day, which is insane to me. I believe, we've kind of become, not that we've become accustomed to, but it's not a rarity that the MLB is in a lockout, right? This has happened several times before.
Oh, yeah.
But out of all of the times, I believe it's been, 7 or 8 times. Out of those 7 or 8, only 5. This is the 5th time where no opening day games will be played. Okay? So last week, there was an offer made up by the league. Players Association rejected it, so they said, the commissioner, Manfred?
Manfred, yeah.
Gotta get some of my freaking name. Wob. He says, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're just going to scratch the first 2 regular series for all the teams. Okay? So opening day is next for the first time in 2 years. With these 2 series, throughout the league, a total of 91 games will be scratched, and the players aren't going to get paid for these games, guys. So, this is kind of like a big deal. All right. If we have another benchmark on the timeline, which is this evening, okay? If a deal is not reached by tonight, they are saying, okay, and let me just back it up because now I'm looking at my notes again. We're actually in the 97th day of the lockout. So yeah, the 90 days plus the week, this past week. We're in the 97th day. If there's not a deal that, if there's no agreement by this evening, they're going to scrap another week of baseball.
Well, we haven't heard anything yet, so
yeah.
I'm not hopeful.
But I'm not hopeful either because, like I said, I mean, you're starting offering up minor league games for free. Something's bad. Something's funky going on there, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, real nasty, and I hate it. All right, so that's that, man. It sucks. Really, really sucks because I know there's a lot of us out there, my homeboys down in D.C. who happen to be stanky Yankee fans. We get up every year to go to a game, and the Orioles, the first series between the Orioles and the Yankees is like the second week of April, and I'm pretty sure that was in the might have been in the set of games that's scratched, and if not, then they'll be scratched, tonight if they can't come to an agreement. So man, it really sucks. Hopefully they'll get their shit together real soon.
Yeah, and even though a lockout is rare, this is the third year in a row that there's been some sort of work stoppage or game cancellation. Last year was just shortened because the previous season ran so late. The year before that, it was the 60 game season because of COVID.
Yeah.
And the COVID season, it was because of COVID, but it was also because players and owners couldn't agree monetarily.
Right, sure.
It all comes down to money. And baseball is going to take such a hit overall in popularity. And meanwhile, while they're doing this stupid stuff, you got, it's a machine. It does need to do deals. It needs to work on all levels. I get that. But Major League Baseball made a deal with Apple TV today that they're going to be broadcasting doubleheaders on Fridays on Apple TV. So I'm sure Apple's TV...
probably like, WTF, a-holes.
Well, I mean, they're going to get their games no matter what eventually, but I'm sure they paid a pretty penny to Major League Baseball. So for the players, I'd be like, where's my cut of that?
Yeah.
And then they're also talking about instituting a play clock, a pitch clock, 14 seconds when the bases are empty, 19 seconds if there's someone on base. These tests that they've had for it only shave 20 minutes off the game. They want more scoring. Just get your shit together and get the deal done, and then you can worry about that stuff.
Yeah, I don't understand why that's even being discussed. There's like no games in sight within like the near future. I don't know. It just seems like a waste of resources. Exactly. But hey, what do we know, man? I mean, this. I don't know, man. I just think it's just time for a different commissioner, man. He's definitely not my favorite out of the. I mean, he's trying to gun for freaking Goodell's popularity ranking.
Goodell might be a better commissioner than him, honestly.
I know, right? That's what he's gunning for. You know how we feel about that check, man. It's just really unfortunate. But hopefully, within the next couple of weeks, they'll be able to squash that, man, because we are jonesing for some baseball. We're definitely jonesing. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick little break. When we come back, let's see, what do we got on here? We're going to talk a little NFL, and we're also going to have some booty huffs, some WTFs, and some come-throughs, man. So you guys don't go anywhere. We got some serious topics, but we're all about the laughs in the second half. This is Keisha, that's Mark, and this is Just a Bit Outside.
Welcome back. Just a Bit Outside Radio Show, live on Facebook, live on YouTube. Share that link, share that love. Thank you for joining us. As we say each and every week, we try. So we talked about Major League Baseball. I'm done being depressed. So let's move on to something. And it amazes me. We touched on show stuff before the show during the break. And it amazes me, like, even though the season's not going on, the NFL still dominates the headlines.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And it's been a few things. I mean, they had the, Pro Days, not too long ago.
Combine, yeah.
Combine. And there was a lot of things going on there. And as of today, if you go on social media or if you go on the internet, a couple of bombshells dropped today. First thing I kind of want to discuss, and this has kind of been like a big deal, hot ticket item, especially with this year's postseason that just passed. I mean, very, very exciting. Mark and I enjoyed it, and I know a lot of our football fans, whether you had a dog in the fight or not, enjoyed these games as well. But it's about the overtime rules, you guys, and outsiders. That's on. I'd like for you to chime in. I'd like to get your feedback on this. During the combine, one of the I guess they also have like meetings and conferences and certain things like that during that time. One of the big ticket items was discussing the overtime rules and the proposal to change these overtime rules. There have been several teams, Kansas City Chiefs, the Ravens, who have really been trying to push this initiative. A lot of people, or a lot of teams, are unhappy with the way that the overtime rules are set up right now, especially with the whole sudden death element, which is really unique to the NFL in regards to extended play with sports, right?
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's always trying to everybody but the Major League Baseball is trying to make their brand, their sport better, their product better. So they've been discussing, what to do with these rules, whether they should change them or not. And according to football fans, Mark, 63% of the fans think the rules need to change. How do you feel about the current set? Because I mean, it's kind of been tweaked a little bit, but the current set of overtime rules with the NFL right now.
It's funny. I've always been critical of them, and I do think they need to change. It's stupid that they have regular season overtime rules and playoff overtime rules. Like, get your shit together, guys.
Yeah, it's dumb.
But I did change my views recently a little bit. Not a whole lot. I do think changes need to happen. I think basically it's dumb that a team can win on the first drive. If they get a touchdown, it's over. If they get a field goal, the other team can get a try. Give both teams a drive. One single drive.
Yeah, absolutely.
I used to be like, oh, if one team scores, the other team should get a chance to answer back. But then I was thinking about like baseball. If the away team doesn't score in extra innings and the home team does at the bottom of an inning, the away team doesn't get a chance to answer back. So, but they each had their chance. So at least in football, institute that. Give each team a drive. If they score, if it's the first team they score, the other team gets a chance.
Yeah.
If the first team doesn't score and the second team does, game over.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what most of the teams want. They just want to guarantee that both sides get the ball in overtime. You know, and I got to throw some stats out there, you know, for you, Mark, as well as these outsiders out there that's listening. Under the current OT rules, playoffs, right, specifically in the playoffs, there have been 11 OT games, okay? Teams that have won the coin toss have won 91% of the time.
Jesus.
Right, it's a glaring fucking problem, you guys. I'm just seriously.
Sorry, Mom.
70% of those teams, sorry, Mom. 70% of those teams scored the sudden death TD on the opening drive.
It's ridiculous.
You know, so like, dude, like it's almost like as if if you win the coin toss, the game's over, and you know, if you get into the red zone, and you know, it's just a done deal. It's a done deal, and it's really heartbreaking and kind of disheartening for, you know, the other side of the ball. They should at least have a possession.
Yes.
They should at least have a possession. I'm totally there with that. Right. So, yeah. So hopefully they'll get that kind of ironed out, because, like I said, 91%. That's a big problem. Big problem. Speaking of somebody who got their problems ironed out, let's go to our first. I don't know whether to call this a come through or what, man, but I label it as a come through, so I guess I'll just go ahead and say it's a come through. Aaron Rodgers in the Packers. He's agreed to be a Pac-Man for yet another season. Are you surprised to hear this news, Mark?
Hell no.
Yeah.
I'm tired of the
Where
drama.
else were you
going
to go, bub? Like, seriously?
I'm tired of the drama up there. No one cares.
Yeah, I'm so glad it's over with, actually.
Yeah, 4 years, $200 million apparently.
Yeah.
And first thing I see up on Facebook is in the Ravens group, well, I guess Lamar's price just went up. Like, come on. Like, seriously?
Yeah. You know, I think I'm kind of like you. But I'm a little indifferent on it. I'm just glad that it's over with, because, you know, I just really realized this past season that Aaron Rodgers is an incredible douche, and I would just like to not have to talk about him or have to report on him or anything like that in any capacity. So I'm really glad that they got this whole thing over with, honestly.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. Now, some more surprising news, and again, I don't know whether to call this come through or what. My opinion, it is not. Like, it's more of a WTF. But Russell Wilson's got a new bag, or, you know, new uniform.
Blue and orange, baby.
Yes, has gone from the NFC since so long. I want to go where the winners are, where the money resides. And the AFC got traded from the Seattle Seahawks to the Denver Broncos. Christ almighty. Mark's ecstatic. I'm just giving this whole thing the side eye, for real.
I was ecstatic until I saw what the Broncos gave up for him.
Yeah. He gets traded to the Broncos for 3 players and multiple draft picks. So they basically got Russell and gave away their future.
Yeah. Yeah, 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, like a 5th-round pick.
What in the entire...
I mean, and like the first player's name I saw come up was Noah Fant. I was like, Jesus, seriously?
Yeah.
Like one of the best tight ends.
Yeah, I was say he had a pretty decent season.
Yeah.
You know, starting to get some acclaim for his play, rightfully so. Man. You know, I'm just trying to figure out who the hell he's going to throw to. But, hey.
You know, apparently the Panthers are taking inquiries on McCaffrey. And I would love to see him go there just because that's where his dad played.
Oh, my gosh. That guy can't stay healthy to save his freaking life.
Yeah, that's true.
But, you know, like, seriously, I would not take that freaking chance. He's great. We all love Run CMC. But Christ Almighty, that he's destined to be broke up for the rest of his career. I feel like it's kind of sad because he's really talented.
So Russ is 33 years old, still, still got some good years ahead of him.
Some, very few.
Think about this though, AFC West.
Yeah.
Who's he up against quarterback wise?
It's got AFC West. So you got Oakland, right?
Las Vegas, yes. David Carr.
I'm sorry, Las Vegas. God, I'm still calling them Oakland. They got the Raiders. I believe you have the Chargers.
Hebert, yep.
Okay, Broncos, and then who's Chiefs?
And the Chiefs, Mahomes.
Yeah, I like that shake-up. I like that quarterback shake-up there. Who's going to come out on top, baby?
That might be the most stacked division quarterback-wise.
Yeah, too bad he doesn't have anybody to throw with and throw to, and it's probably still going to not do well.
He has slightly better defensive line, or offensive line at least.
Yeah, I was going to say, we said yes, he's 33 years old, he's got some years, but I cannot, I'm sorry, and you guys might hate me for saying this, I cannot give him the extension, that kind of Tom Brady-esque length of a career. Because, you guys, Russell Wilson has been getting his ASS kicked in, like, year in and year out. And, Tom Brady did not have to deal with that type of butt whipping. To me, that's a significant point to make there.
I just hope Sierra's ready to go from the rainy Pacific Northwest to the mile-high snow.
Yeah, I don't know, but Sierra, she might have to start making a few more songs out there, Jack. I tell you. We'll see, though. We'll see. But congratulations. I am happy that he got out of Seattle because I just really hated his situation there. So, it's not perfect, but hey, man, you're doing the damn thing, and you're out of there. You're away from that jerk off Pete Carroll. So congratulations to you. That's a big come through in that aspect. Do you have a come through that you'd like to talk about?
Yeah, I got to come through.
Okay.
Let me take it over to the Squared Circle, the wrestling ring.
Okay, let's do it.
Our friends at Ring of Honor might not be our friends at Ring of Honor anymore. Ring of Honor, owned by Sinclair Broadcasting here. No, it's a come through.
Okay.
Owned by Sinclair Broadcasting here in Baltimore. No more. AEW President Tony Khan announced last Wednesday on their Dynamite show that he has purchased Ring of Honor. Ring of Honor officially now part of AEW Wrestling.
Okay. That's a definite come through and a come up, right, Mark?
Absolutely huge come up because Sinclair, they're a broadcasting company. They were putting money into it, sure, but they're primarily broadcasting. They were looking for content for their network of shows. But now you got Tony Khan, who is like a huge wrestling fan, picks them up, and early talk is like he's not doing it just for the video library. He's going to keep the company running. He bought all their equipment, and it's a good thing for them. And then, just to put the cherry on top, they put on a banger of a pay-per-view on Sunday night, card up and down. It was amazing. You just got to give it to AEW. They're always coming through, man. WWE needs to take lessons.
Dig it. That's what's up. And congratulations, Ring of Honor, man. You know how much we love that franchise.
Hell yeah, they've been good to us.
Yeah, they've been super good to us. Super fucking good to us. Yeah, awesome. Okay, come through. Let's move it on to some wilder headlines in sports and in surrounding, I guess, areas. WTF. We were just talking about NFL, so might as well just keep it there. And, this particular WTF is near and dear to the heart. My man, Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley, wide receiver in NFL, gets busted betting on NFL games.
Now, I know you're a big gambler.
Yeah.
How do you think... how good of a gamble was it to gamble $1,500 and lose $11 million?
This is what I'm gonna say. This guy was like halfway smart, I'm pretty sure that, and the way that his attitude is right now, I'm thinking somebody else is probably putting some bets in there for him too. Because I mean, dude legit said like, I did my betting thing. And I only got fined for 1 year. Only got suspended for 1 year. He did not seem too upset about that. So, the whole thing about the $1,500, I'm not sure that if that's all that was wagered, or that was just the one that got caught.
Yeah.
I mean, this dude legit seemed like he wasn't worried about it. He was kind of cool with taking a year off for real, man. Which was kind of interesting.
Well, I mean, the dude's not the smartest guy.
Yeah, no, he's not.
Apparently, he placed his wager through one of the many sports books that's now partnering with the NFL because sports book betting has become huge.
CTE!
You got DraftKings in it. Apparently, from what I heard, one of these companies went to the NFL and said, yeah, your dude's betting on games.
That's fucked up. Stitches get stitches, man.
Well, I'm sure, like, regulatory, they had to. I can't imagine.
Yeah.
And then he's on there on Twitter, too, like you said, saying he only got 1 year. He put up, I don't have a gambling problem. I'm like, homie, if you got to put that, you got a problem.
Yeah, and, dude, why don't you just shut the hell up? Because they're probably about to probe all up into your inner workings to find out what the hell was really going on out there. So... Oh man, but yeah, if you got a year, hopefully you won't have to lose anything else. But I mean, I'm pretty sure there's more to come out about that.
Yeah,
that's a pretty big deal.
I'll tack on a come through on this too, because apparently teams had started contacting the Falcons about trading and his availability. Falcons knew that this investigation was going on behind the scenes, and they refused to take any inquiries on him. Just because they knew, like, something might happen. So
and he was not going to be able to be marketed anywhere after that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, how shitty would it have been if they agreed to a trade and then, like, he gets suspended?
Yeah. Oh, no, that definitely would have been a legal issue there.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So very smart on there. Okay, another WTF. Coach K, he's in his last season. He's been kind of doing his last hurrah, bouncing around the league and everything like that. Biggest rivalry in all of college sports, Duke versus North Carolina. We had the final matchup, the final Coach K Duke Carolina matchup out there at for Duke at home. And man, we've been watching all season. People have been camping out with their little tents outside just to be able to get in and watch these games and everything. But man, this particular game is very special, and it is well worthy of a WTF moment. Mark, I have got to ask, because I asked my mom, how much do you think the cheapest ticket was for Coach K's last Duke UNC game? Cheapest ticket. Take a wild guess.
Cheapest ticket? I don't know, but I heard some crazy prices. Cheapest, I'll say $8,000.
Oh, okay. You kind of overshot that joke a little bit. Okay. I mean, it was $3,400, which I still think is freaking insane. Just to be in the building to watch Coach K play his last game, and even more shocking, and I guess this has come through on North Carolina's part, they beat Coach K on his last game. It was insane. It wasn't even close. I mean, those people were sitting up in there after spending their $3,400 and all the way up top, all the way down to hundreds of thousands down bottom to watch this guy lose. They were so surprised, man. I was surprised. Freaking insane.
You gotta wonder.
Insane.
You gotta wonder if they're even gonna bother making the trip to the ACC tournament.
Shit. They'll be out there. I mean, how are they doing in the rankings? You know what, outsiders? This is a good time to put our little shameless plug in. We got the tournament, conference tournaments this week. Those championships will probably be this weekend. This is going to set up the big bracket. Mark and I have decided this season, we're going to go a little bit bigger with our bracket challenge. We're going to put a serious bracket challenge, serious tournament out there for our avid college basketball fans. We're going to put up a nice little prize for you guys. Yes, a legit prize. We're still working on the details on that. But, next week, we're going to spend a lot of time with the Keisha and Mark bracket special. I don't know what to call it right now. We still got to work on that, something a little better. But, I'm really interested to see what these rankings are going to look like after these tournaments this weekend. This week, I should say.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's my. Do you have any other WTFs for us, Mark? Or are we going to move on to the Booty Huff? Biggest Booty Huff. One of the biggest headlines in the sports realm today.
I got a quick Booty Huff WTF.
Let's go for it.
We're always wondering what the hell's going on in La La Land recently because no one knows.
Yeah.
Actually, this will be a two-part, both Booty Huff, WTF. First of all, and I'm sorry because I know he's your man, but Russell Westbrook, I think he's having a meltdown out there. I think he's having a mental issue.
God damn it, Mark. Damn it.
He's upset because he's getting heckled with people calling him West Brick.
Yeah.
He says he doesn't like them taking his name.
Yeah.
This is sports. What is it that you call his teammate LeBron?
I call him LeBooty.
This is sports. It's a long-standing tradition. You heckle the people. You change their name.
Yeah.
Russell
it's a
Westbrook.
mental. I feel so bad for this guy right now because he's cracking under the LA pressure, and it also makes you wonder if he is built for big markets because prior to in smaller markets seem to be doing really well. But this thing is like a whole this is it's time to call a sports psychologist, talk to somebody. Because, this guy is, legit. The heckling is part of the game.
Yeah.
And, the engaging of it is just really unhealthy. It's unhealthy for him. It's counterproductive to, what he's trying to do, trying to get into a groove. He's having a hard time right now, man. It's just, the whole thing is, me watching all of that yesterday was just hard to watch.
He's just getting into his head more and more.
Yeah, it's worse. It's worse. And I'm not expecting a good performance from him, unfortunately, in the next game.
But on the other part of this two-parter in La La Land, what's going on over there during the game the other day? And I guess people were talking about it about a month ago. But you look up at the luxury suites there in Crypto.com Arena.
Yeah.
And who's in Jeannie Buss's box but Mr. Phil Jackson?
Phil Jackson coming back. His man's coming back. He's probably like Jeannie.
No.
Get that Frank character out of there.
Apparently, they had a relationship for 17 years. They broke up when he went to the Knicks.
Yeah.
But he's still very close to her, part of her inner circle. And like he said, where's Frank going and is Phil coming back?
Yeah, boy. Who knows? Let them jokers not make the playoffs. That's all I'm going to say. We can see what the heck happened out there in La La Land. Man, yes, the drama continues, man. It's like, that documentary with John C. O'Reilly, that ain't the big screen. We got real live drama going on out here for everybody's viewing pleasure, man. Yep. It's crazy. It's crazy. Never a dull moment in there. Never a dull moment. And also, man, let me also say, man, for real, LA fans are spoiled. I gotta say some of that too, man. Y'all are spoiled, and y'all need to start treating some of your players with better respect, better respect. Because, the one that you really should be pointing your finger at, person who put that damn team together. Person by the name of the Booty. But, that's another show, another rant. Let's keep it moving. Booty Huffs, man. And seriously, this is like a 2-for-1. This is a Booty Huff. This is a WTF. Mark and I were just earlier talking about International's Women's Day, equal pay. We're talking about the WNBA. Yes, I gotta close this show out with this whole Brittany Griner situation over there in Russia. Okay? Brittany Griner, who is over there playing for freaking Russia, and I believe it just won a championship for them, which is freaking insane. The only reason why she's even over there playing is because she gets $1 million a season in the off season, which happens to be 4 times more than she gets on American soil for playing the same sport. She gets detained by Russian police in the Munich airport? Moscow. Sorry, Moscow. Moscow airport. For possession of illegal drugs and charged with possession and distribution. And then when I say these illegal drugs, man, I'm talking about freaking vape cartridges. And that's it. Few vape cartridges. Okay? And apparently she's one of 13 Americans being detained. You know, we all know that there's a lot going on with puking in the Ukraine. This guy makes me sick. But man, like, the U.S. have been trying very hard to get Griner out. Everything that I've been hearing has not been positive.
Yeah.
Mark, what have you been hearing in regards to this Brittany Griner situation?
Basically, just pretty much what you laid out. What was the substance in the cartridges was quote unquote hashish oil.
Yeah.
It's a byproduct of, the weed, cannabis, Mary Jane, shredded lettuce, the devil's lettuce. And yeah, it might be illegal over there. It's legal in some states here, not legal in some states. It's a whole mess. But like you said, she was just over there playing to supplement her income. WNBA bumped up salaries last season, I think, in an effort to compensate the women better, but it's still not enough.
Hell no.
We've talked to other players who go internationally and play, and I mean, she's just going over there to pursue her dream or passion, and she was arrested February 22nd or something like that.
Yeah, over 30 days at this point.
Yeah,
and like I said, and not only that, like I said, just won the championship for this country. And to me, then that's the craziest part, because you were seriously treated with zero respect, even as a professional athlete. Now, we all know that Russia just treats their professional athletes like crap anyway, due to recent events and everybody trying to ban them out of any professional sports capacity possible right now.
Yeah.
But man, it's just it's disgusting. And the fact that there's all of this, the little bit of information that they've been trickling out here and there. She's been over there over 30 days. A picture just got released today. What the freak is up with that, Mark?
I actually didn't see the picture. For some reason, it wasn't loaded on my phone, and I hadn't had a chance to look at it.
Yeah, it's basically like a little line-up, little mugshot, holding a little, you know how they do.
Okay.
But it's just the fact that it's been this long, and they just released a picture today. Maybe, I don't know. The whole thing just freaking stinks. What I can say is there are a lot of people advocating it here on U.S. soil for Griner's release, particularly politicians in Texas, because we all know that Brittany Griner won a championship, came from Baylor, right?
Yep.
So, there are a lot of people out that love her and that are really trying to help her get out of her situation. They've also provided legal counsel. I've been hearing. So this is something that's really crazy. The United States has been trying to stay neutral. It almost feels like this is something that Russia's trying to hold over the heads of the Americans. I don't know, man. Trying to get us involved. That's what it just feels like to me. Mark, you might feel differently.
Like you said, she's been in custody for a little over a month, so it was a couple weeks probably before the Ukraine invasion.
Yeah.
But now with the sanctions that the U.S. is putting on Russia over the war, you have to wonder how much of this is a political play. I'm sure they knew they knew they were going to invade Ukraine. They knew sanctions were going to come from around the globe, including the U.S. Yeah. So, as far as I'm concerned, she's a political prisoner at this point.
Fucking right. Hell yeah. So you guys, let's all just keep keep the Griner's family. We know she's married. She has family members, people that love her. Let's keep Brittany as well as her family, and not just Brittany, the other 12.
Yes.
This is the biggest name. There are 12 other Americans that are in this current situation with Brittany Griner. Let's keep them all lifted in prayer, man, because it's a horrible situation. From what I'm reading and hearing, the conditions are terrible. So I mean, it's just a really unfortunate situation for some people who honestly don't deserve it. I don't give a damn what happened, and
Yeah.
it's definitely not over no damn cartridges of hashish oil.
Yep.
Yeah. So I don't know, Mark. You got anything else for us tonight before we sign off, man?
Real quick, I wanted to hit a couple comments on here
Sure.
regarding the prize for the tournament pick'em. The professor asks, is it women's and men's tournaments? I think we agreed it's just a men's tournament for the prize, but might as well do a women's bracket too, just for bragging rights.
Yeah. I mean, we can definitely Mark and I, we like I said, we are still in. We're working out the details and working out how we're going to do this because this does take a lot of effort on both of our parts, especially when we also do this show. We have other projects that we're working on, and we work full-time jobs. But I believe we should be able. I mean, we can do both. We should be able to manage both. But the prize, which will be monetary, folks, monetary prize, haven't figured out how much yet, will be for the men's tournament only, you guys. Any other comments, Mark?
Let's see. I don't know how deep you want to get into this, if you
Sure.
want to at all. The professor also asks, do y'all think Hollywood is worth the 13.2 million fifth-year option? Personally, he doesn't, and the Ravens should consider moving on from Hollywood.
I'll let you answer that one, Mark.
I'm a Hollywood fan, so I'm definitely in favor of keeping him around. He's not going to be number one. I think Rashad Bateman can be worked into that because he does have a pretty good skill set.
And he put on a pretty big campaign this past season, right?
Over 1,000 yards, yep.
Hell yeah.
And that's it from the comments.
Okay, well, we're going to wrap this thing up. Baltimore, you know how we end this show? Spread love, yo. We are still in a pandemic. Just numbers are low, but we got to stay up with this. Wash your hands, wash your ass. Thank you for tuning in tonight. Be sure to share the link, share the love, even when we're done. We're on YouTube. Come check us out there. And next week, like we said, we're going all in on the hardcore, man, with college hoops. So thank you for coming in, for tuning in tonight. You guys enjoy the rest of your week. This is Keisha. That is Mark, and we are signing off tonight for Just a Bit Outside. Peace.